This is what passes for journalism on MSNBC in 2026. House Democrat leader Hakeem Jeffries, he sits down with Larry O'Donnell here and declares that President Donald Trump is deliberately holding TSA agents hostage.
Look, guys, there's no way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our woke trans. Not even black people want to vote for us anymore. Even Latinos hate us. So we need new voters. And if we give all these illegal aliens free health care, we might be able to get them on our side so they can vote for us. They can't even speak English, so they won't realize we're just a bunch of woke pieces of, at least for a while until they learn English and they realize they hate us too.
And that he's manufacturing all of this chaos at the airports all across the country. And that Trump doesn't care about the hardships facing everyday American families. All of this while he's starting a reckless war and pushing voter suppression. You literally can't make this up. So let's play their segment in pieces and we're going to dismantle it together.
Leading off our discussion tonight is House Democratic Leader Hakeem Jeffries. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, Mr. Leader. I want to begin with the TSA issue, which seems to be Donald Trump's latest move on this. Is it possible for the Department of Homeland Security to actually fund TSA the way Donald Trump seems to be suggesting they will?
Yes, what's interesting, Lawrence, in that one big ugly bill, which of course ripped away Medicaid from at least 14 million Americans and literally took food from the mouths of hungry children, seniors, and veterans because of the fact that they enacted the largest cut to the supplemental nutritional assistance in American history. They gave $191 billion to DHS. $10 billion of that can be used any way that Donald Trump and the Department of Homeland Security wants.
Congress already sent $191 billion to the Department of Homeland Security. $10 billion of that money was flexible spending authority. So yesterday, Donald Trump directed the secretary to use it and to pay TSA agents immediately. This order was already in motion. But Jeffries, he wants you to believe that Donald Trump chose not to pay them out of spite. So notice how they bury the key fact. Senate Democrats refused every clean funding bill unless it was also restricting ICE and slowed down the mass deportation operations that we the people voted last November on stopping. That's not support for TSA workers. That is pure leverage and pure political outrage.
And so over the last 41 days, effectively, Donald Trump has chosen not to pay TSA when ordering Republicans to shut down the Department of Homeland Security. And so he's always had this ability, but clearly he wanted to hold TSA agents and the American people hostage across the country while creating chaos at airports, trying to get Democrats to back away from our position.
So, I've been trying to make it clear that Senate Democrats have been voting every day to fund TSA. Every day of these long lines, Senate Democrats have been trying to vote to fund it, and Republicans in the Senate have blocked it. Sometimes it's hard to tell out there. People, out there following these things, standing in a line for 4 hours.
So they framed this as Republican cruelty while pretending that the Democrats were desperately trying to help. So let me translate that for you. The Democrats conditioned every single TSA funding vote on blocking enforcement elsewhere in DHS. They openly said that they do not want to fund what they call mass deportation machines. So in plain language, American travelers and TSA officers were acceptable collateral damage until the Democrats got their way on open borders. You can't make this up. The very people screaming about hostages are the ones who actually took hostages.
In an airport, who's to blame for this? It's those people in Washington. Tonight, Donald Trump has just said, it's up to me. I did it. and I can now undo it. In effect, isn't that what we've learned from Donald Trump tonight?
That's exactly what we've seen. And House and Senate Democrats over the last several weeks have repeatedly made clear that we need to reopen every other aspect of the Department of Homeland Security, TSA and FEMA and the Coast Guard and our cybersecurity professionals, every other aspect of the Department of Homeland Security, other than, of course, ICE, which needs to be brought under control. And we've also made clear we are not going to fund Donald Trump's extreme and violent mass deportation machine. But Republicans who control the House, the Senate, and the presidency made the determination that they want to hold TSA agents hostage and force them for weeks now.
Those are Jeffries' own words on camera. TSA agents showed up and did their job under strained conditions for weeks. The side that turned their paychecks into a bargaining chip is the same side that tied everything to protecting policies the American people rejected at the ballot box last November. So this is what happens when you lose an election but still believe that you run the government.
To work without pay when Donald Trump at any point over the last 41 days could have made clear that they need to get paid. Thankfully, we've now compelled him to do just that.
So Donald Trump's statements to the Senate were two things. One, don't vote for funding TSA unless the Democrats vote for funding ICE. But also he was telling them, do not vote on anything except the voting legislation that Donald Trump wants that require passports, birth certificates, and other things to vote that we've never needed before, and also hands over every state's voting rolls to Donald Trump's Department of Homeland Security, which that does not, as far as we know, have the votes, even the necessary Republican votes in the Senate to pass it. But that's what Donald Trump has been saying the Senate should be doing instead of funding TSA.
Now they pivot to the Save America Act and scream voter suppression on steroids because it requires proof of citizenship, a passport, a birth certificate, to register and to vote in the federal elections. The same documents that millions already use to board the planes that those TSA agents are screening for. Recent polling from Gallup, AP, and others, they show between 70 and 84% of Americans support proof of citizenship to vote. These are huge majorities across every single demographic. You need ID to buy a beer or cash a check, but you're verifying actually that you're a citizen before you pick the president. It's somehow an extreme stance. This outrage only makes sense if you believe that non-citizen voting is either harmless or it's useful. Most Americans disagree, Hakeem.
Well, that's correct. In fact, as you pointed out, Lawrence, Donald Trump has said, don't do anything. We're dealing with an affordability crisis in the United States of America. We've got this reckless war of choice that we've got to end, that Donald Trump has gotten into. They're spending billions of dollars to drop bombs in the Middle East, but are unwilling to spend a dime to actually make life more affordable for the American people. And then on top of all of that, he's trying to jam the so-called Save America Act down the throats of the American people. This is voter suppression on steroids, and it doesn't have to pass votes to pass the Senate. And of course, in the House was strongly opposed by Democrats, and we will continue to do so. We're going to do everything we need to do to make sure, Lawrence, that there's a free and fair election in November. And when that happens, Democrats are taking back control of the House of Representatives, and Senate Democrats are on a path to do the same thing.
Then comes this pivot to foreign policy. They play the clip where President Trump says he doesn't care about dragging out negotiations and twist it into proof that he doesn't care about gas prices or the American troops. What he actually signaled is that he refuses to let another endless Middle East war bleed the country dry while families here struggle with higher costs and airports that remain jammed up. Voters elected him to end the forever commitments and to put America first. That's not indifference. That's exactly what Trump promised. But on this network, wanting to stop wasting billions of dollars overseas, well, that somehow equals hating American families. This contradiction is glaring.
What's your reaction to Donald Trump today in the cabinet room when he's asked about negotiations to end the war that he started, and he says, "I don't care"?
Yeah, that was an incredible thing for him to say. Effectively, he was saying, I don't really care about the hardship that is being inflicted on the American people. We've seen gas prices are skyrocketing out of control in an environment where people are already struggling to live paycheck to paycheck. Many Americans can't thrive and can barely survive. Donald Trump could care less about it, and he said that in his own words today from the White House. At the same period of time, apparently, he could care less about the fact that thousands of troops are being put into harm's way in this reckless war of choice. And American lives, heroes, patriots, have already lost their lives up until this point, and yet Donald Trump doesn't care.
So here's the reality that MSNBC spent this entire segment trying to bury. Democrats, they deliberately tied TSA funding to their refusal to enforce the border. They blocked clean spending bills. They turned airport security into political leverage. All the while, Donald Trump used the flexible authority that Congress already provided him and ordered the agents paid. This standoff is ending. TSA officers, they deserve to get paid on time. And travelers, they deserve to have functioning airports. And the border deserves to be enforced. Our elections, we deserve to have those decided only by citizens. And everything else that Hakeem is saying here, that's just politics trying to pretend that they care about you. The spin collapses the second you hear this full story. They counted on you not seeing it, but you just did. So if you're tired of this level of dishonesty, hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment down below on which lie from Jeffries bothered you the most. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep exposing all of this stuff together. This next video you have to see. This is where we're going to break down Trump and his strategy with the negotiations with Iran and the critical role that J.D. Vance is going to play here. And it's going to be the key piece that sets J.D. up for the 2028 ticket. Have a look.